Hey guys, John from Before the Credits. This will be my first movie review, and it will be about Spider-Man Homecoming. I went and saw it last week. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The first part of this will be spoiler-free, but the last part is going to be very spoiler-heavy. I'll let you know when I'm about to spoil the movie. A lot. I'm going to talk about the whole movie. So, the non-spoiler bits. The story was great. I think they started in the right spot for the story because we have seen the origin story for Spider-Man so often. It's not really a spoiler because it's right at the beginning of the movie, but it pretty much starts with Civil War. You get to see Civil War from new eyes. It's really cool. And then the overall characters. The characters were great. Peter is amazing. Ned is great. He's really funny. Liz is okay. I guess she's probably the worst character of the movie because you just don't get to know her, per se. The Vulture is a really fun bad guy. But that's pretty much all I can say about the movie without spoiling it. Overall, I loved it. Probably about an 8 out of 10, I'd say. I will talk about why it's not a perfect 10 out of 10 in the spoiler bit. But I do love superhero movies, though. I grew up reading comic books. I grew up with superheroes. Really love them. That's why I'm a little biased towards enjoying Superman movies more than some people might enjoy a superhero movie. Onto the spoiler bit. I thought the movie was hilarious just by the sheer jokes they made at Peter's expense about him being very new to being Spider-Man. There's one scene where he's at a party and he goes to leave to go check out some bad guys, and there's no skyscrapers or tall buildings anywhere to be seen. He shoots his web out into a golf course and it just shoots out, and then he starts running through the golf course and he yells, "This sucks." Just thinking about the scene again, it makes me laugh. Love it. I love that the Vulture was Liz's father. It was a nice twist. Sadly, going into it, I had already kind of been spoiled about that twist. It was still very pleasant. The look on Peter's face when he realizes it, very, very happy with it. One of the two things that kind of upset me just a little, the first one being very minor, it was Uncle Ben. He's barely mentioned in this movie. He's just mentioned in passing when Peter is asking Ned not to tell Aunt May because she had just went through something with Ben, obviously his death. That was a little upsetting because Ben plays such a pivotal role. Just even mentioning him a little bit more would have been more important. I get that they didn't want to do an origin story, which they again glossed over the spider biting him as well. He mentions to Ned that it's dead now because Ned wants to get bit by it as well. Overall, I'm fine if they skipped the general origin story. I really think they should have at least touched base on Ben a little bit more and at least gave us the "with great power comes great responsibility." I know that Tony kind of gave a new one in the same idea along the lines of, if you're nothing without this suit, then you shouldn't have it. That's fine. I get it. I like it. It is powerful, but it's not as iconic as "with great power comes great responsibility." The fact that they didn't add it is a little upsetting. That was actually one of the things that I didn't like about The Amazing Spider-Man as well, because they tried to reword it and be edgy or whatever you want to call it, and it didn't hit. It missed. It's a very important part. Obviously, the big problem I had is a problem that a few people had, a lot of the fans had. It's the whole thing with MJ. I think it's a two-part thing. One, MJ as a character in Spider-Man is iconic. She's important. To just hand wave her into a new character, I think it's kind of like an FU to the fan base just a little bit. And that's nothing to say about Michelle or Zendaya in general. I love both of them, and that's kind of why I didn't like how they did it. I really wish that, Michelle could have been in the movie more. I really liked her character. She was fun. She was comic relief for the part she was in. She was funny. I liked her. I wish I could have seen more of her. They had to keep her out of the movie so none of her friends could say her nickname of MJ, so they could reveal it at the end. And I don't know, I'm sorry, I think it was stupid. I think that they should have just created a new character, named her Michelle, have her be a clear love interest for Peter, and been done with it. And then maybe in Spider-Man 3 or 4, who knows, down the line at least, they introduce MJ, the actual MJ, Mary Jane Watson. And we go from there. Them combining these characters, I think, is a mistake, and it was the biggest issue I had with the whole of the movie. One of my favorite parts about the movie, though, was the inclusion of Donald Glover. Talked about him in a previous episode, and you guys know that he's awesome, and you guys know the story of him with Miles Morales. The great thing is Donald Glover was playing the Prowler, who is Miles' uncle, and he actually gets mentioned in the movie, which is, it's awesome. The fact that they mentioned Miles Morales exists in this universe. We will likely see at some point in the future Miles playing Spider-Man. I don't see how we can't. And when the Prowler mentions he has a nephew that lives in the neighborhood, and that's why he doesn't want the guns around there, it's just a clear shout out to Miles. I think that's amazing. It was a lot of fun. But as I said, overall, great movie. Really liked it. 8 out of 10-ish. Very enjoyable. One of my favorite of the MCU. If you guys haven't, which most of you guys haven't, come over to the Discord. I'll leave it in the bottom. There's a couple guys in there. We talk every once in a while. I'd love to have more people there. I'd love to have conversation being built either around my videos or anything else in general. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys liked my first review. I haven't edited it yet, so I have no clue what it looks like or what it sounds like, or if it's any good whatsoever. Thank you for subscribing if you've subscribed. If you haven't, subscribe and click the little bell thingy-majigger. Click the bell, because then you get notifications of when I post videos. But thanks you guys for watching.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. Spins a web any size, catches thieves just like flies. Look out, here comes the Spider-Man. Is he strong? Listen, bud, he's got radioactive blood. Can he swing from a thread?